everyone. Welcome back to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper, and today I'm sitting down with the stars of Styling Hollywood. The new Netflix series follows celebrity stylist Jason Bolden and his very talented interior designer husband, Adair Curtis, as they run their lifestyle company catering to celebrities like Gabrielle Union, Yara Shahidi, and Taraji P. Henson, all while balancing marriage and life's ups and downs. Take a look.
Nothing is more glamorous than walking the red carpet. Unless you're me.
Drop it.
My name is Jason Bolden, creative director for JSN STUDIO, where we do interior design and celebrity styling.
I'm Adair Curtis, Jason's better half. I oversee the interior design, and while Jason is running his mouth, I'm running our business.
How do you come up with this stuff? Our clients are real-life superstars.
Why am I getting actual chills, though?
This is your kitchen.
Wow.
This is crazy, man.
Oh my God, amazing.
Women that we work with are the epitome of black girl magic, but it's definitely not easy. It's the day before the Emmys. It's a hole in the dress.
You are no longer part of JSN STUDIO. We are done.
We've never really heard about black interior decorators and celebrity stylists. The demand is really high for us. You married a superstar.
I did. You're my Ivanka.
Well, we getting a divorce.
Put your hands together for Jason Bolden and Adair Curtis. Ivanka, huh?
I mean, you know.
That's a hard pass for me.
First, I have to ask, it is New York Fashion Week, so are you guys exhausted? Have you been going to a lot of shows?
This guy.
I am. Yesterday was actually a really important moment for me because I got to do my first American fashion show. And it was with, one of my dear, dear, fabulous, amazing, iconic clients, Serena Williams. So I got to do that yesterday. So I am beat to the ground from seeing Kim walk in to Anna walk in. It was just like, it was mayhem.
On top of that, though, do you go to a lot of shows just to kind of check out what you're going to style your clients in?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, I'm very clear on the shows that I want to go to because I don't believe in, like, just going to things just for going's sake. I really want to see some stuff,
I think it would be exhausting. You see all the people who are just going to shows for the sake of shows, and I'm like,
How do you do it?
Yeah, like, you got to pick and choose.
And some people do wardrobe changes.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't got time for that.
I just go online and look at Instagram, and I'm like, that looks like fun, and I'm like on my couch watching your show.
Yeah, literally.
Really, that's
what I
literally
like to hear.
did.
That's what I like to hear.
I watched all 8 episodes in like one sitting. I got up and I was like, I haven't eaten, or I really wanted some barbecue potato chips. Like it was a
thing.
Felt very connected
It's
to
a
you
thing.
guys. We're gonna talk about the show a lot more. But first, I want people to just get to know a little bit more about your backgrounds. So Jason, I'll start with you actually. When did you start styling? How did you know that it was something you wanted to do?
Okay, so I'm from the Midwest. I'm from St. Louis, and in a very Midwest quintessential way, there's a couple of careers: your doctor, attorney, teacher. Like that's the kind of vibe. And I was always someone who was like drawn to all things beautiful, let it be furniture and clothes. And I went to school in the Midwest, and I decided to transition out of medical school into just fashion. But I had no choice because I had spent all my money and I had to get a job in retail, and it just kind of took a life of its own. Then I get to New York and I open a vintage store in Soho, and it just became a thing. And I took little to no money and I spent it into a lot of money because I would just go buy things from vintage stores and I would sell it for ridiculous prices. And I then meet my lovely husband, and I was going through this thing where I was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And I take time off, and then Gabrielle Union gives me a call, who's one of our dear friends, and she was like, come down to Miami. There's Art Basel. Plus, I need something to wear. Could you please bring me something to wear? So, as in true friend fashion, I bring down a couple of looks, and she puts on a vintage, that was a 1970s Lanvin dress, like mixed media kind of vibe, and literally the next morning, it was on Vogue, and the phone calls just kind of came rolling in, and here I am now.
Well, if your first celebrity client is Gabrielle Union, yeah, all eyes are kind of on you.
Yeah, but it was bizarre because it was just kind of like hanging out and just helping a friend. It was just kind of like, oh, girl, you can't wear that. Here's something in my closet. Just wear that. And it literally was kind of like that. And, and then it just happened. And then my real breakthrough was Taraji P. Henson. And Taraji kind of, she hates when I say this, but she gave me my career and in this business because she took me on her journey when she did every major red carpet for Hidden Figures. Like, she took me on her journey. Like, she gave me SAG, she gave me Oscars, she gave me Emmys, and it literally built this huge fashion profile, and people just really started to pay attention.
What was that like for you as his husband to watch that kind of
I
ride?
mean, I was the proud husband, watching him do what he does best and kill it. So I was right there, like, cheering him on the whole time.
At the same time, you are a very talented interior designer. Your whole aesthetic, I was like going through your Instagram. Everything you choose is so beautiful and it just seems effortless and natural. Take me back to your beginning. When did you decide that this was the industry for you?
Well, for me, I'd been in entertainment since I was, 17, and I'm not that old though. But
25.
25, 25. I've been in entertainment since I was 17, and it was really like the one thing that I really, really thought the only thing I thought that I loved. And, I kind of rose through the ranks working with some amazing, powerful people. And I really didn't think I would do anything else. And then when I met Jason, and he was already an interior designer while he was doing his thing at the store, I don't know, it opened my eyes, and then I started really paying attention. And what, kind of came of that was, I think I love design. I think I love it. And then I went back to school for interior architecture and really kind of immersed myself in a new world and had to learn a whole new language and everything. And then one thing led to the next. And once Jason had solidified himself in the styling world, it was the next logical thing was, well, we both really love interiors. Why don't we also start, offering our services? And here comes Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade again. Like, here's an opportunity. We have this massive house, and, we want you guys to work with us on the house. And kind of one thing led to the next, and here we are today.
Gab, can I call her Gab? She's such a good friend, right?
Don't call her Gabby.
Don't call her you can call her Gab, no Gabby.
She's a Nebraska girl like I am, so I really feel so I like really, really love her. So how did you guys meet? Was it that creative passion that brought you guys together?
Jason and I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
you want to tell?
Yeah, I could tell the story. I mean,
okay.
We have this running.
Don't believe his story.
Look, here we go, you guys. Here we go. So we have this running joke that the story is kind of, diverge at a certain point. And but our barber introduced us. We lived here in New York, and I was doing my thing, and I wasn't looking for anybody, I promise you. And Jason, our barber, sends me a note, and he's like, "Can I give my boy your number?" I thought it was for business. And the next thing you know, I tell him yes, and Jason and I schedule to meet each other. And again, I'm thinking it's just business. And Jason tells a story that I was a snooze fest because I sat across from him and didn't really talk much. And there we go. Look, people watch the show. They're going like this, 1 and 2. Exactly.
Going on a date with the most boring person. It's literally sitting in the worst class ever. You can imagine, like, your professor's like talking about, like, I don't know, like how, I don't know, but something clearly you're like, and that's how I felt. And I was like, why is this dude being so like weird and just like not fun? Like, we don't know each other. It's like drink. Like, drink.
So drink,
like,
he did.
Yeah.
And he was drinking and drinking and drinking and going to the bathroom really fast.
So he thought I was doing drugs. Anyway,
I thought he was doing drugs.
If you watch the series, we really dig into that. But we met that way, and we've been with each other ever since. And it's just, we find the balance in each other because we're extremely different.
So different.
But then our baseline and our foundation is exactly the same.
Well, I think in just watching you guys interact, you'll get that's a good taste of what the show is like. You guys are so different, but that yin and yang is so lovely to see, and I can see why the relationship works, and it's so fun to watch, like, a really positive, encouraging relationship on screen. With that said, you guys started JSN Studios, super successful. Why invite cameras into your life? Were you ever worried that would complicate things?
I mean, listen, we've been asked over and over and over and over to actually for this thing to happen, and it just didn't make sense. Like, the partnerships that people wanted to actually make just didn't make sense. And then we met with Carlos King, again, just randomly having dinner, And by the end of the night, he was like, you need a show. This is a show. And I was kind of like, whatever. And we go home and weeks follow, and Carlos is like, listen, we got to shoot something. And we're like, oh, okay, fine. And we trust Carlos. He gets it. He's, he's someone that looks like us and who understands and just gets it to the core, right? So then there goes everything. Netflix says yes. And now we're at home with someone who just kind of like gets us and allows us to be, and kind of never wanted us to shift and do anything that wasn't natural to us. And it just it literally just happened.
Yeah, we got to make the show that we wanted, really, right? So the show is really a snapshot of our life at that moment, and everything that you saw happen on the show actually happened to us at that moment, and we're reacting to things, and it was almost like the cameras were a fly on the wall. So it made us really comfortable, especially for me. Jason's always been in the front of the camera and I'm behind. And for me, I'm like, I'm a little nervous. But, they made us really comfortable. And again, it's an intimate trust that we had with Carlos.
And a trust that you guys have with your clients, because a lot of your really big name clients, Ava DuVernay, Gabrielle Union.
I mean, listen, I see the Ava T-shirt right there. It's like
they are on the show. Like they speak and they're interacting. And so was it hard to get them to get on board, or do they just love you so much that they're like, yeah, I'll do that?
I think we kind of all speak the same language, and we just want to all help shift the planet in the best way possible. And this presentation and this story that Adair and I decided to give is also a part of shifting the planet. And I believe that Yara and Ava and Gab and Taraji and Jan, all these people who decided to say yes, they saw that before we kind of really grabbed a hold to it, because we're so inundated with work and we're just working. So when Ava said yes, and like that moment, that real moment of presenting Ava the dress, and what Ava said to me was, it shook me to my core, because Ava tells me those things every day, all day. Like every day, all day. And for her to actually, every time she says it in another way, and it still shocks me. And I'm kind of like, what? And when she said it that day was great. And the way that, Yara is just able to, go jump in it with us too, and just she's the voice of the future. We like to, she's my president. Like I'm voting for her. So it's just so nice to have them just say yes and want to constantly push the agenda of shifting the planet to the best place it could possibly be.
I think Game Changers recognize game changers.
Well, then there's
it is very rare that we see a married couple, gay black men on TV, successful, proud, living their best lives. That is, like you said, something that is moving the dial, changing the conversation. Mm-hmm. Is that why this was a really important opportunity for you to take?
Yeah, I think Jason said it best, and we wanted to approach it with our own integrity. We've not seen it before, and just the fact that we've not seen it before in this way. There's so many, we also talk about so many different stories, and love looks so many different ways today, and why doesn't the media, show that? And so this was our crack and our chance at showing another way of, living life and, loving.
I've only seen fictional portrayals on Empire just last season. It's just that fresh on the zeitgeist, where there is very few representatives in that. So applauding you guys on that. And
thank you.
Also the decision to share your journey in surrogacy.
Yes.
And starting your family.
Yes.
Was that a hard conversation to have? Like, okay, this is how much we're going to share? Or were you just like, well, we're doing the show?
It's just a hard conversation to have. We've always wanted it, but Adair is definitely a bit swifter about it. Like I'm there. Like I'm there. Like I'm the person at dinner is like, oh, you can order now. Then you can order, and then get to me last. It's like that in this situation, but it's something that we haven't seen, and especially we haven't seen it when it comes to people of color. Like it's also something that we don't get a chance to talk about. Like what it looks like and how it feels and
the whole process. I mean, it's a whole process
a
from
whole process.
us to an egg donor to a carrier and why they can't be the
to
same
the
person.
financial numbers. It's expensive. You know, it's like it's all those different things that a lot of people don't really get to talk about and really get to let you know. You hear it from the heterosexual side, but you never really heard it from two gay men and like what's that really like, because we are going through the exact same emotions that other couples are going through. One is ready, one may not be ready. Everyone's sad, everyone's happy. It's like you don't get to see it in that space.
I agree. That's what I love the most is that I really felt like I was in the room with you guys in this conversation and I could feel the conflict, and that's such a human experience of like, do we start a family? When do we start it? How do we start it? I mean, that's so universal.
I was going to say universal is the word.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but the show is on Netflix, so it's not like
You can stream it now.
Yeah,
Stream it
it's not
on your
like
phones right now. Just pull it up.
spoily.
Right.
But I have to kind of know where we're at on that journey. Like,
So I tend to give things away, right? So
Yeah.
I
Give
always
away.
let Jason
He
answer this
talks
question.
so much.
Look, who's been talking the most, you guys?
Don't answer that.
me, it was
Don't
me.
answer that. Don't answer that. No, I mean, we are working, and it is
Stuttering, that's
it
what we're
is-
doing.
No, we are working. It is happening, and we will be parents, and that's what we wanna give.
Will you be parents in like 2020?
Yes.
Yeah, we should be parents in 2020.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So there goes that. There goes all these fancy shirts because allegedly they puke on you and stuff. So I will be in white T-shirts forever.
Let me just say congrats, Dad and Papa.
Thank you.
you.
So
Oh,
excited.
thank you.
So excited for you guys.
Thank you so
That you're
much.
expanding your family and expanding within the work family that you guys have created.
Definitely.
They are a huge part of this show
They
as
are.
well.
Definitely.
What's going on with you and Kafia? Because right, she said, "Ooh."
The hard questions. Okay.
I'm gonna turn for this one.
Kafia and I, it's so complicated. She's a really, really dear friend. I think again, that was a real snapshot of a situation where we've known each other for a really long time. Kafia has lived with us for a couple years. Like she's really a family member. But that doesn't stop her from, so we're working together, but that doesn't stop us from having disagreements. And, I think the lines get blurred when you work with your friends. And, that's one thing, working with your friends. Kafia is literally like a sister. And the line started to blur even further because she's like a family member. We do not abuse our people. We take very good care of our people. So I think the real issue, which I don't know if it really came across, was not giving anyone more money. I think it was more about your commitment and wanting to be in one place as opposed to just everywhere, I think she said it best, where she said, JSN Studio, that's great. That's their baby. Okay, so then why do you want, why would you want more of something that you're really not passionate about? So my thing is, let me propel you to find the thing that you're passionate about, and maybe we'll help you over there in that area.
So you guys are good?
Oh, Kafia is my girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I love her. The comments that we've been seeing in social media and people trying to tear her down, that is the absolute opposite of what we want. I will never respond to that. I will never like that. I don't feel that way. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's brilliant. And I think she's found it. And I think, if we come back, then you'll see more of that, maybe.
I was actually really motivated by her. In her quest for balance in her life, she was asking for what she felt like she needed. And I feel like a lot of women of color have a hard time doing that with their employers.
Yep.
So I actually thought that was a really positive portrayal to see on TV, that she knew her worth and she was like making that vocal to you, even though it was probably more difficult because you are like her brother.
Yep.
So I think that was something encouraging to
Good.
see, actually.
Good.
But you guys a lot of your clients are friends.
Yes.
So does that complicate things ever, or does that make it easy?
No.
Not at all. Not at all when it comes to our clients.
Yeah.
It's a very we are there to work, and after the work is done, then we are friends.
Yeah.
In those moments when I see you, you employ me. I work for you, so I fall in line. And then that's it. Like literally when the clock strikes, like it's, for example, the last time I was here, I think I was here with Taraji, and Taraji walked in, and this was our last stop, and Taraji walked into the room, and she walked into the room, and that's when we became friends. I was like, okay, girl, it's time to go. Turn up. And she's like, great. But the whole time throughout the day, I'm here. I'm tying up shoes. I'm adjusting this, having the camera person stop. Oh, I don't like what that looks like. So we're very, very, very clear. And
Lines don't blur that way.
And that's what they enjoy. They literally enjoy the knowing that we are there to actually take care of them and protect them.
I have to say, both of the things that you do are things that I am not naturally gifted in. So it's so impressive.
You put yourself together.
Yeah,
really
you look
nice.
Des, you
cute.
know how hard I tried to look good for you guys
That was
today?
good.
I was trying to look good, but not look like I tried too hard.
But
You-
the jean and the suede brown pump was,
my God.
dude, that was the way.
Thanks,
That was
guys.
literally the way. I was like, I love a suede shoe.
But what you guys do is not easy. To get the right aesthetic and the right vibe to really lock into your clients, lock into their home, to make them feel comfortable, but also to bring in style and fashion. Do you think it's sort of this show has given people an opportunity to see just how much work it takes?
I mean, and even that is just a fraction
Yeah.
of what actually, like, there's so many things that happen.
You guys didn't see anything. It's
there's
a lot,
so
it's a
many
lot of
things that you
stuff.
weren't
It's
able
a
to
lot of
see,
stuff.
So stressed out for like most of the 8 episodes.
Oh, I don't want to stress you out, but
in a
like
fun way.
Yeah, but welcome. Welcome. It's definitely more than it's more. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes on. And also, for the interior and styling, it's how do you stretch your creativity, right? We have so many, like there's times where I have like 4 or 5 people. Like for example, I had at the Met, I had like 10 people going to the Met. How do you give each person a moment? So you have to stretch your creativity. And it's like how, when it comes to interior, like how do you, doing someone who has 5 and 6 homes, how do you stretch your creativity so each place feels like a different moment in their life? So that's the hardest thing that a lot of people don't get to see. Like you're like trying to juggle a look, but in your head you're like, wait, does this look remind, literally, I say it all the time to my assistant. I'm like, does this remind you of a dress that so-and-so wore and what so-and-so wore in 1976 and blah, 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 da, da, da. It's all those different things that you think about. Going into someone's house and you walk into a mutual friend's house with one of our clients and we're kind of like, is that the sofa that we were thinking about? Yeah, can't use that now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's even things that people don't even know, like those type of things that happen for us. Like you can never not work when you're thinking about aesthetic.
And I just have like 2 fun notes.
Let's go.
First is I need a gif of you eating chips out of a Gucci bag.
Oh my God. People are going crazy
That
over
was
that.
so amazing.
They were like,
And
that
so
needs to go.
inspired.
Because he's a secret eater.
I'm not a secret eater. It was just, it was nearby me. I had
Super
to
inspired.
drop it in there.
And then second, I have a merch idea for you guys.
Okay, let's go.
Word.
I want a shirt that says like, I'm a sensible snack.
Okay, can I tell you something? It's in the
Okay.
works. But can I
Okay,
tell you
right?
something?
I mean, I was
so, yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, I'm a snack. I'm a sensible snack. I'm not
Yeah.
going to ruin your life. I'm not going to be complicated.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm a
Sensible.
sensible
Or your
snack.
credit score
Well-
or anything.
It's already been working. It's already working. But it's so funny because that particular thing, if you watch, one of my best friends who's in that thing, and since college, we had no money, so we had to like literally a $5 bottle of wine, and we're like, but we need a sensible snack, and it would be an apple and peanut butter, because I'm like, that's not expensive, and literally that was our whole thing throughout college, a sensible snack. Who has the wine, and who has the peanut butter and apple? So everybody could bring something. You got $5. You got $5. You got $5. You can do the apple. You can do the peanut butter, and I can do the wine.
We're all eating good.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. You just let me know when that merch is ready.
Oh, it's gonna
Okay,
drop.
we're sending you one.
Please. I'm
Yes,
very
on
excited
it.
about it.
Okay.
I will like tag you on Instagram. I'll be your influencer, whatever you need.
Love it.
Okay? Let's go to the audience really quick. We have some questions.
Yes.
Who do we have first?
Hello. My question is for both of you guys.
Sure.
Who is your favorite client that you've worked with and why?
We really have a hard time ever picking a favorite client. It's just that you get something different from each and every one of them, and it's like, can you really pick one over the other? I really like this over here, but I really like this over here too, and we can't live without either. So why choose? You know?
Just don't date nobody to tell you some stuff like that, though.
Can't choose.
I can't choose. You know, to piggyback on what Adair is, it's just so they're all so different. Every time you're with them, it's something new. It's literally something new.
Mm-hmm.
I wish.
So we can flip that. Is there a client that when you look back, you're like, we nailed it so good because maybe the journey getting there was really hard, or they wanted to do something that was really kind of larger than life, and you could pull it off. And when you look at that moment, you're like, we are all stars.
I think we're so critical of ourselves that we never spend too much time like, oh, we killed it. We just don't even think like that. We're always like, oh, that was great. Okay, moving on.
But I would like to say,
look, here comes my husband.
I
y'all.
actually would like to say, Serena Williams for the Met. What people don't know is all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we end up putting on these off-white sneakers with her Versace couture gown as she was on the host committee. And it was like one of the most iconic, random, most comfortable moments ever. She's like, I was like, yeah, would you wear a sneaker? And she was like, And literally, she wore sneakers to the Met, and it's campy, and it was the whole thing. And it was one of those things when I look back on, I was like, this could be really bad. And it was actually kind of epic.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
You said all your accidents were on purpose, right?
All of them are on purpose. You really watch. You better work.
I told you I didn't leave the couch.
Yeah, I love that.
And I meant it.
I love that.
Yeah. Next one.
Hi.
Hi.
I was curious if you had a dream client that you haven't worked with yet, living or dead.
Ooh, it's easier for deceased.
I think we have.
Who?
I think I can name one for both of us.
Oh, let's hear it.
I would love to do James Baldwin. Interior, like I would love to do his first apartment in Paris, and I would love to dress him for any speech that he had to talk about injustice. That's
He nailed
what I
it.
would love to do.
Yeah, he got it. That was
Major.
it.
Good one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a really good
That's
one.
it.
Well, guys, as I've stated, I really enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
On so many levels. First, I just have this new respect for the industries that you guys work in, and I learned a lot too of things that I want to improve in my house and in my style. And I just think you're such a beautiful representation of Black love.
Thank
so,
you.
Thank you so much.
congrats
you.
on 2020 and a baby. And if you guys want to check out Styling Hollywood, it is streaming now on Netflix. Put your hands together for Jason and Adair.
Thank you, guys.